When Princess Protection Program premiered on the Disney Channel in 2009, it was at the height of stars Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez's well-publicized best friendship. Because in Hollywood, there is no relationship that's too sacred to be exploited for commercial gain. The press loves to either label people as enemies like Joan and Betty, or interdependent like Bella and Edward, as long as the women who are involved stick to the negative stereotypes that have been created for them. While it's true that since their Disney days, Selena and Demi have committed the mortal sin of falling out of touch with a childhood friend, we can still look to this tale of a royal fish out of water to see these two young stars revel in all the soda slurping, crazy-faced chemistry of two best friends playing best friends in a TV movie. So, let's travel from Costa Luna to a Louisiana swamp and catch a hilariously non-lethal political coup, a main character who could use a little more grit, and an outrageously handsome single father / global secret service agent who also for some reason maintains a successful bait business by exploiting the child labor of his daughter. It's time to royally wreck another famous Hollywood friendship in this chummy installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we find our favorite movies, TV movies, and other such content here on the web, and we break it down into little clips, hence the name. And today we're busting up a small island nation called Costa Luna in a very highly requested clip breakdown. People have been wanting me to cover this one for a while. It's sort of one of those unique Disney Channel original movies in that it wasn't a franchise, it was just a one-off, but still contained two of their A-listers at the time in Selena and Demi. And I remember watching this way back in the 2010s when I had some sort of binge of Disney Channel movies. So let's get back into it, but with a critical eye. But first, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you click that subscribe button, that way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. So the main character of this movie, played by Selena Gomez, is Carter, as in Aaron and Nick. They were like, let's give her the name Carter, because we've all met a Carter before. The names in these movies. And I know there's gonna be 6 Carters commenting down below, your name's weird. I'm just kidding. I do like the name, just not common. Carter, what are you up to today? Oh yeah, this is another kids movie that tries to convince us that Selena Gomez is a quote-unquote tomboy by putting her in a fitted tee and visored hat. In my high school, if you were gonna call yourself a tomboy, you better be walking down those hallways with cargo shorts and a buzz cut. If you're not swinging from the rafters by your wallet chain, you're not a tomboy. Also in high school, I wore body spray and carried a purse. How come nobody called me a tom girl? It was probably just faster to say at that point for them. But back to the invalidation of this hat. Clearly the stylist was like, oh yeah, once you put this on, I don't see a millionaire child star with a personal trainer and glam team. Check the hat, mama. That's a train conductor. Also, I'm starting to realize that a lot of famous actors don't know how to do something naturally in a close-up. She put that hat on like it's her imaginary thinking cap. When I worked on the hair and makeup department, this is the kind of shot that the AD would for some reason schedule to be done first thing in the morning, right when their hair is freshly styled. You can see from those flyaways on Selena, this was probably their 2nd or 3rd take. There are also times in this movie where it just kind of in general seems like they forgot to do the back of Selena's hair. Or maybe they thought it would be out of frame, since this was one of the first movies that Disney simultaneously released in widescreen on DVD. But on set they were probably shooting for the 4:3 aspect ratio that broadcast television was in at the time. There are other widescreen versions of things where you can see a lot of stuff that they had framed out, like Malcolm in the Middle, you can see like they have extras moved, you can see crew members. Anyway, as we just saw, Carter works at the bait shop of her dad, and the boy that she really likes, who doesn't remember her name, is supposed to give her a ride to school every day. It's like, if you drove her to school every day, you would remember her name. But the popular girls of the school, they're not having it.
There's no room for me.
Sure there is, come on.
No, she's right. Brooke's already wrinkling my after lunch outfit.
I'm sorry, Carter. Hey, Thanks for the bait.
And thank you, Donnie, for your service in the Vietnam War. This character is supposed to be in his senior year of high school, but right now he's reading as someone's not that much older than me stepdad from Cougar Town. Okay, I can already tell it's gonna take a little extra energy to make it through this movie, and luckily I have a new favorite way of getting my coffee fix with the sponsor of today's video, Cometeer. Cometeer is a brand new way of making coffee that is one of a kind. You can't find it anywhere else, just like me. It's the only coffee that's flash frozen to lock in freshness and makes it so versatile and easy to use, just like me. Every month I get shipments of new coffee capsules. I get to try new roasters and roasts each month. I love that there are tasting notes, strawberry, kumquat, and chamomile. You run the little recyclable Comet underwater to loosen the puck. Kaplunk, and then simply add 6 to 8 ounces of hot water and create a delicious brew that you cannot get anywhere else for this good of a price. Then I like to add either a little bit of oat milk and some organic maple syrup, or I just like to leave it black so I can enjoy all of those subtle tasting notes. It's so much smoother than any drip coffee I've ever made at home. Plus, I am someone who loves experimenting with different coffee recipes. And Cometeer makes the perfect base so that I know I'm always gonna be starting with high quality, fresh coffee. I'm drinking a lot of coffee right now. For a limited time, you can get a free Fellow Tumbler $30 value when you use my code NickGWP at cometeer.com/NickDiRamio. This is a good one. Oh, it's nighttime and I'm doing that. Despite this movie taking place in Louisiana and Europe, it was actually shot on location all throughout Puerto Rico. And it seems like their windy season was a constant struggle for some of the cast, trying to be cool and popular, looking like the girl from the Les Mis poster, all growed up. And as we said, Selena is not immune to any hair challenges in this movie.
Can't stand them. They're such princesses.
It's Mason. Right away.
We're leaving again?
2 days max.
Just be careful, okay?
You're the one who needs to be careful because your hair is currently skydiving. Also, I don't think the pejorative use of the word princesses ever manages to sound natural in this movie, no matter how much the script tries to use it as clumsy foreshadowing or wordplay. Those mean girls basically ruin Carter's life and she's like, ugh, you princess? Okay, that sort of just conjures the image of someone well-loved and poised, like Princess Diana or Princess The Diaries. As we saw from that telecommunication, which the dad can only access from his truck for some reason, he's been called in to work at his secret second job. That's when we jump over to Costa Luna and meet our second main character, Rosalinda. Or let me say her full name for you.
Her Royal Highness Rosalinda Marie Montoya Fiore, Princesa de Costa Luna.
It's Off-Broadway Belle from an Italian regional tour of Beauty and the Beast. You don't really see many productions embracing the fact that in the original cartoon, Belle was in fact a child bride. Europe is not afraid to give you the full Lolita. We know that. Oh, someone asked what this lip gloss was. It's Fenty Beauty Cream in Peach Pout. Great for summer. In the summer, from what we can see, Princess Rosalinda has it made. She's a month out from being coronated to be the queen of her beloved land. It seems like everyone loves her. She's got this fabulous dress designer who she trusts so much. Oh, and we see Major Mason, which is Carter's dad's name, talking to Rosalinda's mom, who's like, I'm worried about her safety. And he's like, I'll take great care of her by not really helping that much. Because pretty much immediately after this happens.
If any person has a reason to object, let him step forward and be heard.
I object.
Okay, not to criticize Major Mason, the bodyguard, but he could have just thrown a sword through the princess's head if he wanted to, while Mason and every other armed guard were sniffing around the charcuterie platter. And since when would an absolute monarch field the proletariat for objections before taking the crown? That sounds a tad democratic to me. So yeah, eventually someone's gonna chop your head off with a sword. That's the oligarchy. So even though this dictator, his name is, let me find out so I know. You would think I could remember these names while I'm watching the movie, but mama. Just keeping both eyes open sometimes is the real struggle. General Kane. So General Kane is like, I will take the throne. I'm from Costa, it's another Costa. What does he say? Costa Luna and Costa Estrella. The coast of the moon and coast of the stars. So Costa Estrella, this guy, General Kane, wants to unite their two countries, and basically, for whatever reason, that's not good. We don't really know, like, he definitely gives off an evil vibe, but he's not for sure saying, like, we're gonna lock this down, we're gonna take away your freedoms, we're gonna make everyone poor. So I don't really know why these two don't want to be overtaken or join forces, or why it's so hostile, but we do know that Major Mason is the hero, because he swings down on a single piece of fabric and kicks two guards, which is all like, great, maybe take care of their machine guns. But they get Rosalinda out of there, and basically the mom is like, we had a plan because I knew this would happen. It's like, don't not tell her if you knew that was gonna happen. She could have been impaled next to a priest. But anyway, they fly her out on a helicopter. She's like, as long as you stay with Major Mason, you'll be fine. You'll come back as soon as you can. And they're like, General Kane is gonna be waiting for you to contact me so that they can find you and throw us in prison forever. So even though it's hard, don't talk to me from wherever you're going. And to me, I'm just like, couldn't they just like not give her a phone if it was that important? Like, give her no way of communicating, then you don't have to worry about it. It's very confusing the way they try to protect the princesses in this program. But Rosalinda flies off with her green eyeshadow, crying. And I love this shot where they're in a helicopter looking down at the castle. I was like, where did they shoot this? Was it somewhere in California? So that's when I looked online and saw, oh, Puerto Rico makes kind of perfect sense. They would have like swampy looking areas that they could make look like Louisiana, as well as, you know, just a little further inland, kind of give you that European town feel. And you're still in a US territory. Back on the ground, basically, the mom is like, I will never tell you where my daughter is. And for some reason, you won't kill me about it. Like, to me, it seems, I know it's a Disney movie, but a lot of the natural next steps for these evil dictators would be to ruthlessly kill everyone from the old regime. But he's really more about like, I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna force you to marry me. It's like, forced marriage is not way better in terms of the human rights spectrum, but it is a little more kid-friendly. But forget about Costa Luna, okay? We're back with Rosalinda in this secret compound getting the tea.
Princess Rosalinda Marie Montoya Fiore, you are now in the safe custody of the International Princess Protection Program.
It's character actress Molly Hagan. You may recognize her from playing the mom who turns out to have killed her daughter in like 7 forensic crime procedural shows. If you watch CSI Miami, you've seen her drown her kid or something. And as you can see, she listed German accent on the special skills section of her resume. But as you can hear, she was not being totally honest about that.
The Princess Protection Program, a top secret agency funded by the world's royal families.
All right, well, at least she kept the voice up for that whole shot we got before the lunch break. She was like, this is too hard. And I told the producers it would be funnier if I got to play it with an Indian accent, but they never responded to that email. They're like, should we put her in a German military uniform? No, that's too much. That's scary.
We are actively providing protection to 29 princesses, all of whom have been threatened in one way or another.
What kind of dystopian alternate reality does this movie take place in? If royal princesses from like 1/8 of all the countries on Earth are being targeted for assassination, I highly doubt that all of them are known for throwing gold coins out to the peasants and evenly distributing wealth. If the Princess Protection Program truly cared about justice, it would relinquish these young girls to Interpol so they can be tried as war criminals. Can you tell that I was on the model UN? But then I got exiled once they found out that I'm not really a working model. Those tasteful nude portraits were actually just a Sims 2 character who kind of looked like me. The Princess Protection Program itself is clearly shot inside an emptied out shopping mall. I'm just noticing. Or like maybe a hotel. She like goes down these escalators into a lobby. Yeah, it's looking like a hotel maybe. They're like, let's just put some tables out. Cafe tables, it's fine. They're like, we are so good at making over all of the president's daughters. It's like, no, you're not. And they go to cut her hair. I love a low budget makeover. They're about to cut her hair and she's like, no, no, no. Let me talk to Major Mason. I don't like what's going on here. Let me go back to my country. And Major Mason reiterates for her why she cannot do that.
General Kane is hoping you'll contact her so we'll know where to find you.
What if he does find me?
He'll make you take out those clip-in hair extensions and have them redone by a professional. So Rosalinda's surprising makeover in this movie is comprised of cutting her hair, even though it kind of already looks like they just need to tear along the perforated lines. Her hair extensions look like notebook paper. Also, I go back and forth. Like, I do believe that this movie set up the stakes really well. Like, I feel convinced like Rosie had to leave her home. She left her mom behind, but they're like, no, she's safe as long as you stay here. So as long as you stay hidden, your mom and your country's people will be safe. So I like that they set up this pull for her to want to go back to her country because she's so loyal to her people, and yet the right thing to do is to stay hidden right now. So the setup, great. Everything else after that kind of feels like one big plot hole.
Good work. From now on, you are no longer princess. You are now Rosie Gonzalez, an average American girl.
I don't want to question the witness protection geniuses who are creative enough to change Rosalinda's identity by shortening her hair and her name slightly, but if she's gonna be safe by blending in with American teenagers, then wouldn't she be even safer by remaining indoors at a private location and not interacting with anyone? Major Mason is like, if anyone finds out that you're here, then you and your mother are gonna die in a work camp pushing boulders uphill like goddamn Icarus and syphilis. Did I just say Icarus and syphilis? Who is Icarus and syphilis? Who's the guy who pushed the boulder up the mountain? Sisyphus. Syphilis. I like that better. Anyway, he's like, you gotta stay hidden or it's basically World War III starting up right away. Anyway, have fun at homecoming. I'll be selling worms part-time for some reason. That's what really gets me. Mason's is the owner of Joe's Bait Shack back at home, which is what Carter helps him out at. And I'm like, what is his job? He's like, I guess it's supposed to be like, oh, the bait shop is a front for his secret agent things, but then why are the locals coming up and buying worms from his daughter? Maybe it would be cool if it was like one little stand and then it had a secret doorway that went into it, and she like followed him when she's complaining about Rosie showing up. If she like follows him through the secret passage and it's really a secret lab, so we know, oh, okay, he has a little bait stand, but it's really all about this, blah, blah, blah. And maybe his like phone beeps and they're like, wow, you have a really fancy cell phone for someone who sells fish heads. And he's like, I'm in credit card debt. I don't know. You know, like these are the details that I understand require a bit more budget and time and draft revisions to execute. And those are, if there was anything like that, it probably got cut out. But to me, it's like, find a way to do it. Find a way to do it. Give me the secret back room. You know, us gays, we just love a back room. So Carter comes home and she's like, Dad, why is there a slightly Spanish speaking English type of royalty in my house? And right away, they try to sell that Rosalinda is a fish out of water, as I said, because she's used to fancy royal stuff. She's like, oh, this suite will do, even though it's smaller than mine. Can you have this bed removed? And Carter's like, do you see the fucking textbooks and cardboard cutouts in this room? It's obviously not a suite. Do you not realize you're a political prisoner? So yeah, they get off to a rocky start. Carter's like, you stay on your side of the room, I'll stay in mine. And Rosie just sort of like hides away in her room all night.
I don't want that.
Oh, that's good.
So I thought princesses had designer clothes and stuff.
I was thinking you could, you know, loan her some of your stuff.
Girl, what is up with this government agency that you keep risking your life for? Does the Princess Protection Program really not have the budget to provide a TJ Maxx gift card to the teenage political asylum seeker? We can see Carter already has enough to deal with just from her precariously placed nighttime soda. She better be a gamer girl or she does not need that much caffeine after sunset. So Carter brings her some pizza and this girl is like, "Donde está el baño?" And it's like, okay. You seem a lot more fluent in English than you do in the Spanish that your country seems to speak. I think it's also interesting to note that Disney really started making a star out of Selena and Demi. First was Selena Gomez in Wizards of Waverly Place, because after Hannah Montana, they felt they desperately needed a TV show and properties and starlet of some type of Latina descent. And with Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato both having Latin Latin heritage. They were like perfect. They're not full brown, but they got the last name and the dark hair. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because I'm very happy that the world got to know Demi and Selena as stars, but it just feels really calculated. Like it was at that time when Disney was like, all right, the population has changed so much that we actually do need to stop putting some white girls on camera. We can't have them all be blonde hair, blue-eyed anymore. It doesn't reflect the people who are watching. Like, yeah, we been new. Some of the stuff that Rosalinda is freaked out about from this like simple life of hers now is stuff that I also have an issue with.
Come on. Do they not have lizards where you're from?
Okay, her hometown can still have wild reptiles without them specifically crawling around the inside of her mansion, leaving salmonella footprints all over that model ship. Don't act like Rosie is the weird one just because you think it's okay for your bedroom to feel like that creepy corner of the pet store. Every time I go into the reptile section where there's like black lights and heat lamps at a pet store, I'm just sure a tarantula is gonna jump on my back. Tarantula. I say words weirdly. Like as a joke, I started saying like Skarsgård, the AR thing for everything. I'm like, my sister, I'm like, Molinar, we nard new Tarshu Parper. And now it's become just an actual speech impediment where I don't know how to speak properly, so. So yeah, we're supposed to believe that Louisiana, you just have lizards in your house and you're like, what? That's my captive trained lizard who crawls around the house and shits in my cereal. Like, okay, mama, you need to settle. This is the most bewildering part. They're like, and now you're magically enrolled at school as a new person with a social security number.
Where are we going? School? You're 16, you go to school.
Selena Gomez invented the realism of talking while eating on the Disney Channel, and I just have to say it. It's a technique that I recognize from her character Alex Russo on The Wizards of Waverly Place, of which I have seen every single episode at the age of 19 during one really weird summer. I want to try it. You have to talk like you're getting something out of the back of your teeth. School? You're 16, we go to school. See? Now I'm getting ready in the morning for breakfast. Someone cast me in their TV movie. I'll do this. Look how fast I can do it. I'm just like, don't send her to school. That's literally, there's so many fucking unknown variables when you send her into a building of people, but whatever. Like, it's not a law that kids in America have to go to school. Just have her stay inside. Put her in a Hilton.
Princess 379 is in position. Stage 4 is complete.
She's safe.
That's affirmative. Absolutely safe.
I made sure of it by sending her out into the public without supervision for 8 hours while I stay here and do nothing. No, of course I love Major Mason. I mean, obviously he's hot, but also because he thought, so Rosalinda is being targeted by a group of dangerous international terrorists. I better send her into the nearest school full of children while holding hands and being best friends with my young daughter. Girl, you do not value the human life of Louisiana. He said if the school gets blown up, the school gets blown up. I'm trying to sell my fish. As soon as Rosie gets into school, all what's the boy's name? Booker? Donnie. Donnie has a thing for the new girl right away, which is obviously not great for Selena, who's had a crush on him since they kissed in 3rd grade. I'm like, again, if you knew someone in 3rd grade, there is no way you would forget their name when you're in school with them every day since then. That's ridiculous. That would be like me forgetting Stephanie A. I remember you, Stephanie, from 1st grade. It's also crazy to me that Carter would be like the outcast weirdo in the school, and then Rosie is somehow like hot shit, even though they look very the same in terms of the way they dress and do their makeup and hair, having conventionally attractive thin bodies. You know, it's like they would do well in high school, both of them. So let's not act like there's some huge difference. I think a lot of movies try to give us like the makeover of the Princess Diaries, which Anne Hathaway looked so funny in her maid under kind of outfit, but they had a lot more makeup and hair going on than people realize. Like really expensive hair extensions, really subtle makeup and changes there. So the makeover of Rosie to Rosalinda is not as pronounced at this budget level. Back at home, Rosalinda's mom is like, I will never marry you and you will never find my daughter. So the tension is building over there. General Kane realizes he needs that daughter to come back if they're gonna get anything done in terms of taking over this town. I'm like, I don't know why. She left. You got the throne. Seems like you can just start applying force to people, but nope. I would have loved it if, like, I don't know, they could build some more mythology into Costa Luna's thing where it's like the rightful owner of this golden scepter or this beautiful necklace is the known inheritant of the crown. Because before Rosie left, she was given by her mom this locket to always remember people by it. And then the locket has nothing to do with the plot. Could have easily had something to do with the plot. Like, he's like, I need to get that locket. It has the key to the throne. It has the key to all the money. Or like, it's used later to prove her identity in some like, is she or is she not type of situation. That's what I need from the necklace. We don't have it. So what we do have is Rosie being a little interesting in the school department. The funniest joke of the whole movie is in French. She is talking to the French teacher and she's like, I speak French, Spanish, Japanese, but my favorite is English because I'm American. Do you like being American, Mademoiselle Devereaux? And the teacher's like, yeah. I honestly wish we had more of Rosie's character kind of being a motor mouth and having that clearly be a stumbling block when it comes to keeping her safe and protected. They want to position it like, you're not blending in at all. You're acting like a weirdo. But I want it to be like, you keep revealing information that's dangerous.
You're supposed to be blending in. I am blending. Speaking fluent French in class and eating hamburger like you're having tea with the queen.
Okay, where I'm from, she's eating a hamburger if we're talking about the sandwich. Eating hamburger would imply that she's just shoveling loose ground beef into her mouth at tea with the queen for some reason. I spent a lot of time thinking about that line. What's really not working for me in this movie is that Rosie's character is too perfect. She has no character flaw. She's obedient, nice, and thoughtful at every turn. I need her to have something else. Like, is she fiery and mischievous like Xenon? Is she passionate and just like Greta Thunberg? Like, she has no personality other than being adored by everyone. I would even like it if she had like this short temper where if she saw people, smaller people being mistreated, she like went off and started speaking Spanish and saying, how could you do this? And people were like, whoa. And so like when she gets excited, her brain gets the best of her and she might reveal some secrets. That would be a great way to kind of give her a little bit of something she needs to work on, her impulsivity. The main character development for her is learning to enjoy normal things and act like a teen, but that's literally just drinking soda, which, mama, they have soda in every country, I'm sure. Every developed country with a castle, at least. She'll be like, what is this? And they're like, that's paella. Aren't you from Spain? So the principal announces, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Homecoming King and Queen nominations coming up. And of course, Rosie's like, there's a king and queen here? I'm gonna teach you how to be a princess. And she stands up and nominates Carter. And the whole class is like, okay, we hate that bitch, but whatever. So I guess that's this screenplay's version of giving us Rosie overstepping her boundaries and being a little imperfect and overstaying her welcome. If they could have built it into something we already knew about her character, like she pushed people to do things that they weren't comfortable with, like maybe that dressmaker back home was nervous to talk to someone or nervous to go after his big break and she pushes him along, something like that. Also, we don't see her helping people or being generous at all in Costa Luna, where she's like caring for the sick and the homeless or whatever. So all of this stuff is really, it's hard to grab onto for me. But you know, they sell her homesickness by showing her looking longingly at that locket that never does anything else. And things are not going so well back at the bait shop, where Carter basically sends her to do a chore that causes her to fall down and have worms on her. So it's like, you know, some physical comedy. And it does, when I'm watching from far away, really squinting, show that Carter and Rosie are off to a rough start, you know? It's like in The Parent Trap, where there's a lot of animosity between the two twins. They're pulling pranks on each other, doing war. That takes it to the level where it's like a real back and forth. And I know Rosie's like a benevolent character, but maybe she like is a little more sassy and shows up Carter in class by being like, oh, Carter doesn't speak Spanish as well as me, even though I think her mom spoke Spanish before she died. Anyway, entonces, that would be good. But we don't get that. We do get a lot of father-daughter playfulness.
All right, it's not funny.
You want to laugh
No, I don't
too.
want to laugh. This is serious.
Pizza and burgers.
Yeah,
One as an appetizer or just together?
know.
I don't particularly buy this rehearsed feeling banter, but I can tell they think they're serving father-daughter chemistry realness, so I almost feel bad criticizing it. Which is why I got my criticism out of the way in the first part of that compound sentence. See, I can use words to justify almost any level of cruelty. It's why I'm so healthy and stable. Again, just like Selena Gomez with her eating while talking, the dad is like, oh, you want dinner and burgers? Oh, okay. It's like, did you just fucking do a bump in the bathroom, Major Mason? But as they go inside, Rosie is like, oh no, I cooked for you. My mother taught me how to cook all of her family residents. She was a peasant before she was married to my dad. And obviously there's gonna be tension at the dinner table. Carter like takes off her crown and is like, wow, must be nice to slum it and play peasant for a day. And Rosie gets up and leaves. And I think we could have built in more here. Like Carter sees the table setting. She's like, I didn't know we had all this stuff. I thought she was gonna be like, this was my mom's nice china before she died and we haven't used it since her funeral party. But we don't get that. We don't know where Carter's mom is, but Carter goes in to talk to Rosie, who ran off from the table, and Rosie confides like, my life's not all great, okay? I'm literally running out of my country and my mom's in danger and my dad died and now there's no one to help.
I'm from a small island nation called Costa Luna. Never heard of it. It is not on most maps. It is very small, very unimportant to large countries.
It must also not be worth much to medium-sized or small countries either, if it's not on most maps. What is that even about? Are you the princess of the Bermuda Triangle? Did Amelia Earhart teach you how to use a tampon? I don't know of any country that's not on most maps. Like, that might not be a country then. Also, this would have been a perfect place because Rosie's like, after my dad died, yada, yada, yada. And that really softens Carter and she's like, you don't have to tell me this. And then she's like, oh, this breaks her wall down so that they can become friends and relate to each other a little more. But they could have literally related to each other a little more if Carter was like, my mom died when I was 6. She drowned in that swamp back there. I watched a gator tear her apart. We used her for bait after. Like, we don't know what happened to your mom. We don't know what happened to your mom. We don't know what happened to your mom. But Carter decides, okay, I'm gonna give Rosalinda a chance to fit in here because she has it hard.
What is it? It's a bowling alley.
What size?
I do not know. All of my shoes are made for me.
There's a shock.
Yeah, it actually is shocking. You're telling me those were custom cork wedges that she just chunked in here on like a dressage horse? Chunk, chunk, chunk. Could have sworn those were purchased using your mom's extra Kohl's cash, but whatever you say, princess. Rosie doesn't know what to do. She sits up on the table and is like, you may caress my feet, young man with the bowl cut. Rosie is somehow excellent at firing bowling balls, rolling them. Wow, bowling. I used to be on a candlepin bowling league with a guy and his pregnant wife. I was 14 and they were like 26. I was like, what am I doing here? This is so weird to me. Also, I could tell that I was really bad at bowling and bringing down their average, but I did get better over time. Oh, after stealing the spotlight and making people think she's cool by bowling a perfect game, the popular girls go up to Rosie and they're like, hey, you're one of us now. That night, once again, Carter's feeling a little bit like Rosie's cramping her style by stealing the boy she likes and getting all the popularity. She's like, I have to work tomorrow. Get your own job. Rosie's like, I've never worked before. And it's like, you just did at the bait shop a few scenes ago. But whatever. So next we see Rosie and that popular girl whose name is Brooke. No, Brooke is the friend. Chelsea is a popular girl. She's like, my dad owns this chain of yogurt shops, so you can just work here. But it's really a trick to make her look foolish because she doesn't know how to run a yogurt shop single-handedly on her first day. There's no one else working in this building, really? Okay, place doesn't have a manager. So again, we get physical comedy, you know, Rosie trying to manage this shop, all while Carter tells Nerdy Boy, who has a video camera, she's like, I just don't like all of the prim and proper stuff, the thinking that you're better than everybody. That's what I hate about princesses, because he's always in her face like, look who's the new prom queen, and she's like, you. But she gets word that she needs to go help Rosie, so she goes rescues her from the yogurt shop where everyone's laughing at her, and they get back at the guy who helped embarrass her by smashing ice cream onto his head. So Brooke, the popular girl, is like, people think she's really cool. I'm getting like 7 texts about like people thinking she's cool. People are like, that Rosie girl's cool. I heard she had yogurt. Like, what?
I'd rather eat carbs than see her wearing my crown.
Good, you should feel that way because carbohydrates are a vital nutrient nutrient that your body would shut down without. So what was the joke there? That this girl has an eating disorder? This movie said the pretty popular girls are what? Always starving. Only on Disney Channel. I can't believe the way diet culture and fads have been so closely associated as a negative stereotype that they don't even have to insert it into the script with irony here. They're just like, this girl f***ing hates carbs, and that's normal. After the yogurt fiasco, Demi and Rosalinda and Selena and Carter, all four of them, they're all becoming besties. They're drinking D&M exclamation point cola, which the art department had a clever way of saying Demi Cola. And we of course love this movie's most memeable moment, which birthed the gotta keep an eye out for Selena gif, but I never realized that Demi's crazed looking reaction is even funnier in context. Oh God, which Minions movie is this? Or is this that scene where someone feeds the gremlins after midnight? Because if it's neither situation, then we need to get another take where Demi isn't snarling as a sign of aggression. No. I just know that people on Demi's team were always telling them, like, you have the most amazing, authentic, big, toothy smile. You gotta give that smile all the time. I am! I'm giving you the smile! Take the shot! And they're like, okay, now arch your brows like you're terrified. At lunch, when the nominees are announced, Brooke doesn't even get nominated for Queen. It's Chelsea, as well as Carter, as well as Rosie. And it's like, what? The popular girls' plan was to get people to vote for Carter, but then Rosie also got nominated. So it's like, our plan to embarrass them is backfiring. And Chelsea is really pushing it. She's making Brooke regret even being friends with her by being like, if you weren't so unpopular, people would have voted for you and we wouldn't be in this mess. So it's like, oh man, you guys are really going for it. At first, Carter is like, I can't believe I'm actually up in the running. There's no way I'm doing this. Being a princess is so shallow and superficial. And that's when Rosie is like, no, bitch. I mean, it is, but also you go to events and galas and charity luncheons. She's basically like, a princess's job is to help people. It's about what you have to offer the world, which is basically what Carter was saying to the video camera boy. She's like, I want to make a difference in the world like my dad does. And he's like, you mean by selling bait? And she's like, yeah. Yeah. So that's our initial feeling. This does come up later that both girls want to do something meaningful for the world. They want to make a difference, and they have that in common. I do like this element. I wish that we could see it practically a little bit in Carter. She's more just like, I hate the popular girls. It's like, what do you do for the unpopular people? What do the unpopular people at this school have to lose because the popular girls are in power? And how does Carter try to stick up against that? A few examples of that, maybe instead of camcorder boy being like, there's your majesty. It's like, come on, I'm sick of that kid. Also, the early thousands trope of a kid at the high school who always walks around with a camcorder is so tired. There was even one of them in that 2013 remake of Carrie with Chloe Grace Moretz. And when he got smashed with the bleacher, I was like, yes, that's what we gotta do with this whole archetype. Oh, I have a therapy appointment in 3 minutes, so we'll have to go on to the third act of this movie after I get my head shrunk. She did ballet. What more can I say? You need to say more, actually, because the girls who did ballet in my high school were some of the coolest, realest people up in there with the prettiest hair, and I would know because I've got a pile on my head. Where were we? Oh, speak of the devil. No wonder I was singing that song. We have reached the second act montage portion of the Disney Channel movie, which is heavily ingrained in their screenwriting formula. Let's talk for a second about why these montages exist. I mean, first of all, it allows an unbroken featured use of whatever song from the soundtrack you want the kids to listen to and buy on CD. In this case, it's one in the same, featuring Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato, a song that I have been listening to since before I even saw this movie, because it came up on my like Spotify once, back when it was like old Spotify. What was the original Spotify? Not LimeWire. I had it on my BlackBerry, some music streaming service, and you'd like heart songs. I think that was the only way you could get free music in the past. Anyway, I love this song, and I'm glad that it's featured here, but it's used in a montage, which is basically just a cheap, quick way of showing character growth growth, particularly if two characters are going to become friends and show like that they've officially established a rapport with each other. This type of montage is great for that. We just saw it in Starstruck. We see it in almost anything. It's just a transition to get you from the second act to the third act. You're like, oh, shit has changed. Now we're ready for that final conflict to bring it all home. But as I said, this is a great song, so I'm not gonna rag too hard on the use of montage. Like, we just need to start by talking about how this song is so much yes. Yes, yes, so much yes. Not just for the sustained Demi, Selena harmonizing on the chorus, even though we love a major fifth. But also because it's an unrelenting, unashamed ripoff of Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? He was a punk, she did ballet. What more can I say?
I'm not gonna accept any more third act montages without that mashup as the song, even though it doesn't sound good the way I did it. It's like, rapper, rapper. Also, it's not just trying on clothes. Rosie shows Carter that being a princess also includes other activities, like reading children's books to a room full of bored and confused looking kids. That's Demi Lovato's sibling on the behind the table, by the way. Again, I get that, you know, Carter is learning that, oh, being princessy means also doing nice things. They could have potentially given us that in a more solid way. I want to see what the school is like what is the pecking order at this school, and how are Rosie and Carter working together to basically like smash the patriarchy, or the monarchy rather. We get in one scene that Chelsea is sort of a pushover to this girl by calling her the wrong name and not treating her like she matters. I think it would help if we could see more of the school being oppressed by the actions of these two popular girls, but whatever. We obviously get a solid few minutes showing that Rosie is teaching Carter how to be a princess, even though she never seemed, they could have made her seem a little more gruff and rough and tumble before, like if she was like wiping her mouth on her sleeve and didn't care about stains, like she wasn't as gross as she could have been.
I hate you. You do? No. I meant I hate you like you're my best friend.
Tell me how someone like Rosie can be fluent in 5 languages, including English, which she seems to speak better than her native Spanish, is still unaware of what sarcasm is. There are legions of sarcastic people in every country on Earth, although most know us simply as assholes. I need this movie to get on the same page with itself as to whether Rosalinda is a fish out of water because she's a royal living in a swamp, a European living in America, or a stepsister from Planet Weird, because most of the time she's straight up space alien. There are scenes where she's like, what is this? Like, I know they have that in Spain. But, you know, the girls use the term best friend, so we know they finally made it to Toontown, baby. I just can't get over how, like, Selena Gomez and Demi were best friends, and, like, they would do the Selena and Demi show, this stupid little YouTube thing together that Mandy and Miley Cyrus and her friend would, like, make fun of them, and that was, like, the drama of the moment. Like, Miley Cyrus making fun of Selena and Demi. It was pretty iconic. They were like, look how seen I am with my Ninja Turtles t-shirt. Calling people out for trying to be seen back in the day was great. In fact, Selena Gomez, her band with the Disney Channel was called Selena Gomez and the Scene, to try to get back at people who made fun of her for trying to be seen. And it's like, that just makes you seem like you're trying to be more seen. And we know you're talking about Miley Cyrus, and no one's gonna be talking about scene kids in 5 years, and this is all gonna seem really dated. Anyway, let's get into that third act conflict, where we have Brooke, the mean girl's best friend, looking through some magazines at the library for a Spanish project.
Princess Rosalinda? No way.
And imagine how much faster their cover would have been blown if this movie had the budget to acknowledge that the internet existed in 2009. They said, we can't even afford one of those translucent plastic MacBooks to show the internet, so good luck. But anyway, now that Rosalinda's top secret identity has been exposed by a high schooler doing their homework, can we sentence her to life in a field smashing boulders already so that I can go back to reading the health section of my new Cosmo? Turns out there's no such thing as sexually transmitted razor burn. I just have scabies, and I wouldn't have known it without the power of magazines. Print marketing is not dead. My parasites need it. Chelsea is so sure she's gonna win this thing, but Brooke goes up and is like, was displeased with Brooke, and Brooke's like, but look, I found this out. And they're like, Brookie, I love you. So the two popular girls show up to Carter's house and tell Carter's dad like, oh, we have a surprise for Carter, a princess surprise. And the dad is like, sure, go on in. Dads in movies are like, what the you know those girls are nothing but mean to your daughter. But he was always like, they're probably just jealous. Oh, you think they just aren't now? And you're just gonna let them into your house? They're up to something. Dads, never let a child into your child's room without your child being there. What could that be? So the two girls go in and confront Rosie. They're like, look what we found, Rosalinda Princesa. And she's like, please don't tell anyone. I will literally be murdered. And they're like, we won't if you drop out. No, if you get Carter to drop out of the thing. And she's like, I'll drop out. I can't ask Carter to. And they're like, fine, then we'll just destroy Carter's dress. And they snag her little dress and throw it into the mud in front of her. I'm like, you guys are acting like dry cleaning doesn't exist, but I understand that this is bad. It's confusing because the mean girls are like, get Carter to drop out or we are going to tell your secret. And she's like, no. Why wouldn't they go up to Carter and be like, you drop out or we're telling Rosie's secret? And now that Carter's best friends, she would be like, no, you can't. Her mom will be sentenced to a prison camp. Like, girl, it's so bleak out there in Costa Luna right now. And these girls are not having a lot of sympathy for someone who's literally like a refugee from another country. I would be like, do you even care? Do you even care? So after the dress gets destroyed, I actually like this because the third act conflict doesn't involve Carter and Rosie having a misunderstanding where they're mad at each other, which, having forgotten what the movie's plot was, I thought that's where it was gonna go because it's very formulaic for that to happen. But no, the third act conflict is when Carter goes in and Rosie's like, I have to go back to my country. You know, they found out my secret. I gotta get out of here. It's better for both of us. And she's like, my dad will never let you. And Rosie's like, well, I'm not telling him. So Carter's like, fine, just do me a favor and come to the dance with us tonight just for one last thing as my best friend. And she's like, fine. And that's when Carter has a plan. She calls that dressmaker back in Costa Luna and is like, I have a plan to make it safe for Rosie to get back home again. All I need is you to make me 2 dresses. I'm like, oh, this girl is angling for a sponsorship. I get it. So as part of this plan, Carter tells Rosie, like, you have to go to the dance tonight because you said being a princess is about helping people. And there are some people that I really think deserve to feel like princesses. So Rosie's like, I'm in. Forget about my mom's mortal danger. And that's when they get the nice bus driver who loves her beauty services and all of the nerdy girls from school. And they do a montage of being like, we're gonna do this or that. We're gonna go this or there. Selflessness is what's for dinner. Again, I needed more examples of these girls being treated like losers or not knowing how to be pretty, other than this one girl getting called Muffy and wearing glasses.
What in the...
Aw, she's teaching all the crusty girls how to sit up straight. She's like, and anyone whose hymen is not intact must walk the plank. No, Rosie, we don't do that in this country. And that can happen while riding a bike, or if I kicked my sister really hard in the vag once. Oops. I love how they're like, here's how you sip tea. Wow, that's really gonna come in handy at a school dance, thanks. When am I even sitting? Meanwhile, Commander Kane has no idea that this plan is underway. We got Mr. Fabulosa, the dress designer, working away, and Rosie doesn't know any of this is happening either. Or Carter's dad, you know, the one who has the gun.
Well, back to work. You have a dress to finish.
2, actually.
I mean, you could have found a more opaque fabric to hide that under. Does no one understand that Rosie's mom's life hangs in the balance? They're like, gauze, some gauze cover up for that secret dress. Helen, or whatever, the bus driver, comes over and she's like, welcome to Helen's House of Beauty. Let's put some eyeshadow on you chicks.
All right. Oh, this is a great color on you.
Oh really? I never thought I could pull off clean brush in the shade Nothing. Meanwhile, Carter is over there like, and I'm just gonna claw at your scalp for a second. Gorgeous, now you look like the princess of being roughhoused. Again, this is an area where I wish Rosie, when she got excited, would start going off in other languages that she supposedly speaks, causing people to be like, what? That's confusing. Something character related that isn't just about her being royal, you know, like that's just unrelated. She's an excitable person who loves to chatter. Personality traits other than just being fancy and not using contractions. That's good directing to me because then she has character traits to pull from, and instead of being like, that's a great color on you, she could be like, oh, so mademoiselle, and then the people are like, what? And she's like, your lips look fierce. And they're like, ah. You know, then there's funny moments that are character driven that aren't just like utilitarian, get me to the next plot point, but what do I know? Carter unveils the dresses she had sent over and she's like, you'll be wearing this beautiful pink one and I'm Caribbean blue, because that's like apparently a color they know of in Luna Luna. The girls look beautiful in that they look the same. Like their makeup never changes. It's clear lip gloss every day.
I think we have a problem. I may have to stop calling you pal.
And start calling you Real Tits Mick High School Girl. I'm screaming out loud. The nickname pal has nothing to do with her wearing a dress. It's like, it's gender neutral. Just like dresses are, but still. I get what they're trying to do. Also, whenever I say I'm screaming out loud at something, I think of Ed Sheeran. I'm screaming out loud. I can no longer call you pal. So the girls put on their masks. Apparently, they told all of their high school girls, it's a mask party for us. We're special. But that mask is actually part of the plan that Carter's cooking up. Remember, the dad has no idea. I don't know how Carter was able to call from her home phone to the palace that they're trying to hide her friend from. Like, wouldn't that be just as bad as Rosie contacting the palace? Like, they can trace it back. Maybe that was the plan the whole time. I don't know how. General Commander, they're like, we found the girls, and they head out. I'm like, I don't know if they explained how that happened. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, it could be cool if they showed like some kind of out of place teacher or something at the school who was clearly sent from Costa Estrella, like at the school spying on the girls. That would give us the tension of like, girls, you're not alone in this. But anyway, it's prom time. Climax. Carter said, all right, girls, time to show the school how beautiful you all really are. Muffy, you can wear this hockey mask. Bernice, you're wrapping your face in gauze like the mummy. And Jessica, you have to exit the bus through one of the emergency exit windows because your face is not really the problem. Again, these unpopular girls, the whole lot of them were never sold to me as second-class citizens. They haven't even been shown that much. You get that pecking order more successfully written in Lifetime movies where it's like, I would love to wear pink, but I can't because Chelsea said only she can wear pink on Labor Day. Whatever. That's Mean Girls, but you get it. We needed to hear from the other girls when Rosie sat down at the lunch table with Carter and Carter taught her how to eat a hamburger. There could have been other girls there like, oh, you don't get to just go sit at whatever table you want. Those girls take the cool one by the soda machine, you know, and then we realize everyone's being walked all over. That would make this feel more powerful to me. But meanwhile, it's clear that Chelsea's reign is over as the popular girl. The boys are not as interested in her, which lowers her value as a human being, obviously. She's got grass on her now, and the girl, Brooke, in the bathroom is like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Princessing is about being helpful to people. You're not a prom queen. You're just a bitch, basically. So Brooke leaves, and Chelsea's like, does a lot of the and walking with heels, which is just a move that young actresses know to make when they're doing a scene like this, I guess. The prom queen is announced, and voila! It's Rosie, the new girl. Oh, but before that can happen, the bad guys, General Kane, shows up to the dance and walks right up to Carter and is like, I know it's you, Rosie, because of your Caribbean blue dress. And I'm like, oh, somehow Carter knew that that dress would give away that it's Rosie, even though it's not. I'm like, the color thing never really made sense. Maybe if it was the same color or the same dress that she was gonna wear to the coronation, it would make more sense, but God forbid. So Rosie's up on stage, like doing her acceptance speech, and she's like, I want Carter to come up here. But Carter's fully being kidnapped onto the roof of the school. And they're about to shove her into a helicopter, thinking that it's Rosie, when she pulls off the mask and is like, you'll never get her. I'm like, you should have waited until they've left or something, because now they're just gonna kill you on this roof. But Rosie, of course, is super selfless and runs upstairs. She's like, don't take Carter, it's me you want. I'm ready to go with you. And just when she's about to get on the plane, that helicopter door opens and voila! Why do I keep saying voila? Anyway, the door opens and it's Major Mason and the Russian woman, played by Molly Hagan. They're like, we got you, sucker!
We're turning you over to the international authority. Get him.
No, let me. I'm gonna enjoy this.
He then shot the suspect 14 times in the back. The Princess Protection Program loves to recruit American police officers who are forced to resign due to public pressure. The good guys being hidden in this escape helicopter was apparently unknown to Carter, who was seemingly prepared to just give up her life to an overseas kidnapper. How did the dad find out? Because he's like, you should have told me about this, Carter. I'm like, someone must have told you, right? What? I wish she could have been like, if the dad stopped her at the dance and was like, what are you trying to pull with this? And she's like, listen, you have to trust me. This is the only way that I can save you and the family and your job and Rosie. I'm not just a little kid anymore. I know I'll always be your pal, but you have to treat me like I know what I'm doing here. That would have been cute, but just plot holes, just plot holes. And the girls are safe, so everyone's a princess, I guess, is the message of the story.
You rightfully deserve this.
Yep, just stick it anywhere you want to. It's kind of like pin the tail on the donkey, but put the crown on the up hairstyle. Between those actively working helicopters and the Puerto Rican winds, Selena's pop punk beehive is giving a little more goth rock wasp's nest. But that's okay, the movie's almost over. Rosie has her coronation and she's never looked more stunning. Ah, she looks so beautiful in that brown t-shirt. And then we flash forward to 1 year later, when we find out that the two girls actually did accomplish their goal of dropping out of school to make a difference in the world, I guess.
If we go somewhere a little bit warmer, my feet are still frozen from that walk through Helsinki.
Carter, you can be such a princess.
They finally did it. They both got cast as the Pink Ladies in a production of Grease. I just love seeing two gal pals take on an abandoned beach. They really do go together like shamalama lama lama dippity dip to dip. Oh, also they both got love interests. Like Carter tells off Donnie by being like, you don't know my name and I'm a princess without you. And then the guy with the camcorder, who she's always kind of brushed off, she's like, turns out I want his So it's like, I don't need a man, but I still need one by the end of the movie. So otherwise, how do we know? Is it even high school if a kid with long hair isn't eating this on prom night? And that's it. The girls are secret agents now. They joined the Princess Protection Program in a sort of unspoken way that definitely seems like an added scene they did with reshoots. Mainly because otherwise I wish that like some agents came up to them on the roof and were like, you did really great undercover work here. Would you ladies be interested in joining as part-time protection agencies like your dad? And she's like, now I can finally make a difference in the world. Then it's closing the loop for me and not just being like, all right, it's over, it's over. Play the smart house music. Buried underneath a lot of bad writing is the story of every woman finding their inner princess, regardless of what they look like, and finding value in helping others. If that's the main storyline, then it needed to be hammered home way harder than just like superficial acts of service. But you let me know what you think of Princess Protection Agency Program. Do you feel glad that we have this time capsule of the Demi Selena friendship that was sold to us as the coolest thing on earth at the time? Let me know in the comments below. Also, tell me what other DCOM originals we need to cover on Clip Breakdown. I've officially, I think, covered all the ones that I've seen. That's not true. I mentioned Stepsister from Planet Weird and I need to do that one. Also, Cheetah Girls 3. I hear it. I hear it. I hate those movies. Maybe I'll like the third one though. Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns on movies just like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. Mama, she uploads 2 a week. You don't want to miss it. So turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when I'm coming to the Princess Protection Agency to save you. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for being one and the same with me today. I will see you next time.